Hi, my name's Stephanie Coker, and I am a TV host, actor, and producer of the amazing documentary, which is streaming right now on Prime Video, Where the Heck Is My Period?
There was a period that I couldn't even look in the mirror. I was just like, I don't know who this person is. I don't want to look in the mirror.
Oh, my first period was a nightmare.
I was 12 years old when I started my menstrual cycle.
Naturally became a standard thing to always have pain and period together.
And what else do you want to know about me? Okay, so I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a Nigerian, of course. Hello, British Nigerian, but Nigerian at my core. I'm very, very Nigerian. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I also have a podcast. I'm very much advocate for PCOS. And what is one more thing that I could tell you that people don't know? I love food, but everybody knows that. So that's pretty much it about me. One of my symptoms was hirsutism, which is like, you're just hairy, like you have hair everywhere.
So I wouldn't see my period and I'll think, okay, that's cool.
So I had to tell my parents that I've not seen my period and I'm gaining weight. I'm from a Yoruba home. That's like, you're pregnant.
I was diagnosed with PCOS as a teenager. I vividly remember going to my GP and telling her that, I have, a lot of hair on my face and I'm a teenage girl. Why do I have hair on my face? This is not normal. Am I turning into a gorilla or what? Because that's what they're trying to call me at school. And then I have acne, and she was like, yeah, that's normal. Your puberty and everything. And I was like, okay. But then I started my period, but I don't know. It keeps going and coming back, and I'm really confused. Like, am I pregnant? Because I'm not sleeping with anyone, and I thought you have to do something for your period to go missing. So what's happening? So she said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna let you go off to the hospital and do a test. So she sent me there, and immediately they were like, oh, we can see like cysts. By the way, it's not actually cysts that are on your ovaries when you have PCOS. They're actually follicles. But the person that came up with PCOS just seemed to deem them as cysts. I don't know, maybe that name was easier than PFOS. So they saw the cysts follicles on my ovaries and were like, oh, you probably have PCOS. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. And that was the beginning of my journey with this PCOS of a thing. I was so frustrated by the hair that was growing on my face. I think that's what really annoyed me the most. I just felt so weird in school, and people really noticed it. And the thing about human nature is that we always point out what the person that has it can obviously see. Why are you pointing out the fact that I have hair on my face as if I didn't look in the mirror? I'm very much aware. Do you think it skipped me? Like, I can see it, but it's something that you're always constantly reminded of. So that's really the major reason why I went to the GP. I don't know, as a teenager, when I was diagnosed, I remember leaving the GP and saying, one day I'm gonna use this to tell a story. Like, I'm not gonna allow this to define me. And it sounds profound to say as a teenager, right? But I just feel like that was just God speaking to me and saying that, don't worry, this is not going to define you. Like, this is not gonna hold you back, but it will help you help others. Yeah, so in this, I'm gonna use you as like a vessel, and that's really how I feel. This is bigger than me. I'm just using my platform to talk about this because it's something that when you talk to women that have really, really, really felt like PCOS has dealt with them, you really see that, oh wow, that it's not just a condition that they should tell you, oh, come back when you want to get pregnant. It's much deeper than that. PCOS affects your whole life. Like, it affects your mental health, it affects your physical, your well-being, everything. And I just feel like it's just something that should be taken more seriously. And I feel as a teenager, maybe I just felt like, okay, you telling me, oh, well, when you want to have a baby, you can come back. It didn't really sit right with me, but I was just like, as you said, oh, okay, when I'm ready to have a baby, they said, not knowing that this thing can actually damage so many other things in my body if it's not taken seriously. The project Where the Heck Is My Period was pretty much inspired by myself having experienced, and still experiencing the wrath of PCOS, and the fact that it's not something that a lot of people are aware of, as it affects 1 in 10 women globally. But yeah, a lot of people will just tell you, what's that? Like if you say, oh, I have PCOS, don't know, is that an illness? Like, what are you talking about? And I think the symptoms are more, people are more aware of certain symptoms, but they don't associate it with PCOS. So I felt like it was very important to be able to use my platform, to use my voice as well, and as a sister, to also, just share my experience and the experiences of other women living with PCOS, because it's something that doesn't have a cure, unfortunately, right now, and it deserves a lot more light. So that's why I decided that, this is going to be the first project I do, and I want it to be super impactful and something of substance that is kind of like what you say, legacy building.
What makes a woman a woman? What makes a mother a mother?
So many people are like, oh, she's a rubbish wife. Why is she like out partying? And I can't just go online and say, oh, I want to have a baby. That's what we're trying to do. You understand? Like,
I delivered the most beautiful baby in this world. She lived for only 30 minutes.
And you saw the 2 lines. I was pregnant.
it was the best day of my life.
I can't take credit for the name. I literally was going to call it Me, Her, and PCOS, but along the line somewhere, myself and the director were talking, and I was just like, well, okay, what will we call it? Period, something period, missing period. I don't know if he said, where the hell is my period? And I was like, no, we can't say hell now, but okay, where the heck? Yes, heck is okay. Okay, where the heck is my period? Because seriously, that's how most people that have PCOS feel. Frustrated, always looking for this missing period. And a period is not something you can, see, or you can see it, but you can't go looking for it with like an air tag. You can't put an air tag on your period, but it's something that really goes missing, and people always associate it with you being pregnant. But no, there are so many different conditions that are as a result of this symptom.
Talking about PCOS, that's Polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a hormonal condition. A hormone is a chemical messenger that alters the activity of the body.
One thing with PCOS, you may sleep the normal 8-9 hours a day and you wake up, you're still tired.
I know I suffered with a little bit of depression and anxiety. You will be angry for no reason.
It's very important to have a strong support system, especially when you have PCOS, because you don't necessarily wake up feeling yourself. You could sleep 8 hours and still wake up fatigued, tired, and there's people around you, that they'll be like, oh, why are you grumpy? Why are you not happy? You just woke up from sleep now. Why are you tired? So it's important for them to understand. First is understanding, and them also acknowledging that this thing is actually affecting you. It's not about you being lazy or not being a strong person. It's literally something that is out of your control. The making of the documentary, wow. So I really felt like Superwoman that time. I really would like that fearlessness back, actually. It was just after COVID. I had become a new mom, and I was trying to find my identity again. And I was like, what can I do? First I wrote a book, and I was like, yay, okay, what else can I do? Because this is not really feeling like me. This just feels like, something that I did to pass time. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start a production company, and I'm going to do a documentary. What documentary am I going to do now? And then I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do a documentary about PCOS. And that's really where it started. Getting the women to talk was very difficult. There are a lot of women that wanted to come on, but they didn't want to be on camera, or they wanted to be on camera, but they wanted us to blur their faces. And I was like, you're not a criminal. You haven't done anything wrong. I can't blur your face. So for those that you see on the camera, they were just willing. They're actually part of a support network called PCOS Conquerors, and a lot of them were from there, some from Instagram as well, and some from people that word of mouth and people that I know. And they really were just like, I want to be able to tell my story to help others. I want to help that little girl that has PCOS and feels abnormal. You're not abnormal. You didn't inflict this on yourself. It's nothing of your doing. It's just the cards you're dealt, and it's just really not something that you should really feel bad about. You just have to know how to manage PCOS. That's really it.
I delivered the most beautiful baby in this world. She lived for only 30 minutes. If Batul was alive today, she would be tall, beautiful, just like her dad. I'm sure she wouldn't resemble me.
There are different women that are on that documentary, and the lady that spoke about losing her child, it was a very hard thing to hear, because with PCOS, first of all, it's one of the leading causes of infertility. So PCOS didn't contribute necessarily to her losing her child, but it is so hard to get pregnant for some with PCOS. So for someone with PCOS to tell you that they lost a baby, it's something that I've never experienced, and I've never had anyone close to me experience. But when you really look into the eyes of a woman that has lost her child, you just, there's nothing you can really say. But we thank God, glory be to God, she has a child now.
Alhamdulillah for what is to come. What God cannot do does not exist.
The Ministry of Health have said that they're going to endorse the school tour. So I'm actually going on a university tour to create awareness, and also the aim is to test 1,000 girls to see if they have PCOS. So it's going to be done via a process of elimination. So if you have symptoms, you answer a questionnaire and we'll decide whether or not you feel like you should go on to do more testing. So the tests are done via blood test and ultrasound, and the blood test is literally hormonal levels, your hormone profile, and just to see your LH and FSH levels. That's usually what's used to determine whether someone has PCOS, along with presenting symptoms like excessive hair growth, like hirsutism. I hope I don't have any hair right now. Hirsutism and a hormonal acne and missing periods. Yeah. As you said IVF now, I went, whoa. I'm used to hearing it, but it's funny because it's like everybody knows, right? But in our culture, it's not something that people really talk about. So they're still like, okay, yeah, you know about that. Oh, I can't even lie. No, but it's something that I opened up about because I felt like, why is everybody always keeping this thing a secret? It's like gatekeeping. PCOS does not mean that you will not conceive without help. It does not by any means mean that you must do IVF, you must do IUI, or you must take fertility drugs or treatment. There's a lot of women that just get pregnant naturally, right? So I think, yeah, it's important to talk to your partner, go with her to gynecologist appointment so you can really understand what the type of symptoms that she has as well, because she might also be ovulating well. She might not actually have issues getting pregnant. She might just have other symptoms of PCOS, like the hair and other things like that. So you really need to determine how PCOS is affecting your partner first, and be prepared. Because in the documentary, there's a woman that, she lost her marriage due to the fact that she had PCOS and she wasn't able to conceive naturally. She wanted to do IVF, but the husband was like, there's people that can give birth for free. I don't know why we'd be spending all this money. So, I mean, if you're that kind of person, then maybe you should move on. But if you're not ready to really do this as a couple, if your partner seems to have issues getting pregnant, so I think, be realistic about it. Do research and figure out if you're really ready to go down that fertility journey. My mom didn't really want me to say anything. She was just like, oh my gosh, did they ask you story? What is all this story now? You had the child. What was with the explanation? But I just felt like, it's important, because I know so many people do IVF and it's all God, yes, but you have to give credit to science and God and everything that went into that, and not misleading people, because there's some people that really genuinely feel like they can wait 30 years without any help or intervention and it will happen for them. And it may happen for them, but there might be something else that could help them get there quicker. Why are we, saying that, we just went to church and, it happened, when that's not really what happened for some people. So that's what I felt like, I'm gonna really tell my truth. And I'm not ashamed about it. Doesn't make me less of a woman, but that's the belief though, right? When a woman does something that she needs maybe intervention, or she's not able to do something that is classed as something that women do, they make you try and feel like you're less of a woman. And that's why I really felt like, no, I'm gonna talk about this. So I did IVF, yes, I did it.
There was a period that I couldn't even look in the mirror. I was just like, I don't know who this person is. I don't want to look in the mirror.
Oh, my first period was a nightmare.
I was 12 years old when I started my menstrual cycle.
Naturally, it became a standard thing to always have pain and period together.
The northern moms, or let me just say Nigerian mom, my daughter, who is just 17, you are telling her to go for PT test. We are not doing it again.
If I wanted like an hour of sanity, I needed to find a way to be able to make myself just hold on. I got my towel, it was very thick, so I had to cut it up into different parts, so I would layer it. So it was like, say this, like maybe this thick.
So one of my symptoms was hirsutism, which is like, you know, you're just hairy, like you have hair everywhere.
So I wouldn't see my period and I'll think, okay, that's cool.
So I had to tell my parent that I've not seen my period and I'm gaining weight. I'm from a Yoruba home. That's like, you're pregnant.
Talking about PCOS, that's Polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a hormonal condition. A hormone is a chemical messenger that alters the activity of the body.
One thing with PCOS, you may sleep the normal 8-9 hours a day and you wake up, you're still tired.
I know I suffered with a little bit of depression and anxiety.
You will be angry for no reason.
What makes a woman a woman? What makes a mother a mother?
So many people are like, oh, she's a rubbish wife. Why is she like out partying? And I can't just go online and say, oh, I want to have a baby. That's what we're trying to do. You understand? Like,
I delivered the most beautiful baby in this world. She lived for only 30 minutes.
And he saw the 2 lines. I was pregnant.
It was the best day of my life.
If Patul was alive today, she would be tall, beautiful, just like her dad. I'm sure she wouldn't resemble me. Alhamdulillah for what is to come. What God cannot do does not exist.
Other projects that I have coming out, so the university tour, of course, where we're going to create more awareness about PCOS. I also actually just completed a film course with the British Council, and I've been awarded a grant to do a short film, which will be focused around fertility a bit. So that's something else you can look out for. And I still have my Puff Shack business. So I told you earlier that I love Puff Puff. So we are scaling up the Puff Shack, which is based in Nigeria, so that we can actually serve everybody. So look out for that, everyone globally. Yeah.